Okay. 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 Then now let's see. So, like from TSQL program, we execute these commands, but all command syntax is same. Only select statement syntax is different. So, in how you write select statement, you write select statement like this. So first, what is this query is 7369. This query will select 7369 salary. The salary is copied to the variable @s. Selects name. The name is copied to @n. Okay, now salary is copied to @s. Name is copied to @n. Now, so let's see some examples. For example, write a program to input number, print name and salary. Okay, write a program to input the number, print name and salary. Okay, now write a program. So to input the number and print name and salary. Okay, so now let's see. For this, first identify what variables are required. What variables are required for the program? What I have to input? Number. One variable for number. I have to print what? Name. One variable for name. One variable for salary. So I need three variables. Declare the variables. How to declare the variables? By using what? Declare. So declare what? envo integer. Next one, what? Name, varchar of 10, what? Sal, money type. So I taken three variables, one for number, one for name, one for salary. Okay. Then after declaring the required variables, first input the number. How to input the number? Store the number into this variable. Input the employee number, store the employee number into this variable. How to assign the value to the variable? So to store value into a variable, we use what? Set. Set statement. Set is for to assign value to the variable. So set which what? envo. Set envo equal to suppose 7844. Then see, listen, 7844 is assigned to this variable. Okay, na? Whatever is assigned to this variable, I want this particular employee's what? Name and salary. Because I have to print the name and salary, I want this particular employee's name and salary. So where name and salaries are there? Name and salaries are there in EMB table. So I want to get the name and salary from EMB table to this program. So how to get the name and salary? How to get the name and salary from table? To get the data from table, there is only one command, that is select command. Select command. Okay, na? Hello. To get the name and salary, there is only one command, that is select command. Then what? Select. Select what? Select. Then so get the name, copy the name into the variable. You already taken a variable for name. At the rate what? Name equals to ename. At the rate what? Sal equal to sal. From emp, where employee number equals to which employee? Which employee? 7844. So it's already there in the variable, and use that variable here. At the rate what? enbo. So what is this query? This query will select 7844 name. The name is copied to at the rate name. This query will select 7844 salary. The salary is copied to at the rate sal. So name is copied to at the rate name. Salary is copied to at the rate salary. Next, I want to print. I want to what? Print. I want to print name and salary. Understood or not? Only small change compared to SQL here. So just get the data from table, copy the data into the variables. Okay, na? So in SQL, how you write queries? Select ename salary from emp. But here what? So select ename, copy that name into the variable. Select salary, copy that salary into the variable. So here we are using what? Variables. Next, I want to print name and salary. How to print the name? Print statement. We use a print statement. Print what? Name. Next, salary. Then print at the rate name. Next, comma, no? Comma, at the rate what? Salary. Okay. Then, so execute this program. Okay. Then, so execute this program. Okay. So 7844 is assigned to at the rate envo. Now this query goes to the EMP table. From EMP table, which employee row is selected? 7844 row is selected. From where employee number equal to 7844. 7844 row is selected. But what values are selected? Ename. Ename. 7844 name is copied to at the rate name. Salary copied to at the rate sal. Now this statement is printing the name and salary. But run this program. This gives what? Error. Why? Because see, error is here. Print statement prints only one value. You cannot print multiple values. It can print only one value, single value. So you cannot print multiple values. Then again, what you have to write? You have to write what's that? Print. You have to write print. Okay, na? Once again. So it prints like this. What is the name is Turner. What is the salary? 1800. So name is what? Turner. Salary is what? 1800. Okay. But it is printing row by row, line by line. But I want to print it in same line. Turner space 1800. But it is printing line by line. But I want to print it in same line. Then what? So, but if you say comma at the rate sal, then what this gives? Error, because print statement can take how many values? One. It can print only one value, but you are printing two values. That is not allowed. Then what do you have to do? You have to make these two values into one value. How to make the two values into one value? How to make the two values into one value? To make two values into one value, concatenate. How to make the two values into one value? Concatenate. How to concatenate? What is the symbol in SQL to concatenate? Plus symbol. So we use plus. So name is concatenated with what? Salary. Name concatenated with salary. But what this gives? Again, this gives what? Error. Now this error is conversion problem. Why? Because when you are doing concatenation, all must be character type. When you are doing the concatenation, all must be what? Character type. What is name is character type. What is at the rate sal is money type. So that's why concatenation is not possible. Then to concatenate, sal must be converted to what type? Character type. How to convert this sal to character type? Cast function. function, use function, conversion functions. We discussed two conversion functions. One is cast and convert. Now use cast function. Cast at the rate sal as what? Varchar. Cast at the rate sal as varchar. So let me run this command. Then Turner 1800. Okay, na? So printing side by side. But I want to print a space between these two. So after name, I want a space. Then concatenate what? Space. Concatenate space. So name is concatenated with what? Space. Space is concatenated with what? Salary. So between the name and salary, you are printing the space. So Turner salary. That's it. Okay. Okay, now then. But actually in SQL, you write like this. Select what? E-name, salary, what from EMP, where employee number equal to, you write like this. But in programming, you're following some procedure. First input the number, get the data from table, copy the data into variables, print variables. Just you are following the procedure. Okay, na? Then now next. Let's see one more example. Then suppose write a program to input number, write a program to input number and print experience. Input employee number and print experience of the employee. Print experience, employee experience. So input the number. I want to print employee experience. Experience is not there in the table. What is there in the table is hide date is there. Okay, then. So for this, first identify what variables are required. First identify what variables are required. What variables are required? You need three variables. One variable is for employee number because you have to input the number. Next, to calculate experience, we need hide date. Take a variable for hide date. At the rate higher date. Take a variable for experience, expr, integer. So I'm taking three variables. One variable for number, one variable for hide date, one variable for experience. Experience is what type? Integer. Experience, years. 40 years, 30 years experience. So it is integer. Now input the number, store the number into this variable. Which employee experience you want to calculate? Input that employee number and store that employee number into this variable. Then what? How to write? Set at the rate what? ENO equals to some number 7566, like that. So I just entered some number. That number is assigned to this variable. Next, I want to calculate what's it? I want to calculate what? Experience. I want to calculate 7566 experience. But to calculate 7566 experience, I need what? 7566 height date. Where is height date? Height date is there in what? EMP table. So get the height date from EMP table to this program. How to get the height date? Get the height date. How to get the height date? Select what? Select. You write query like this. Yes or no? You write query like this. Then get the height date, copy the height date into the variable. At the rate what? You already taken a variable. So height date from what? EMP, where employee number equals to at the rate ENO. So what is this query is? This query is getting the height date, which what is the at the rate ENO value? 7566. So 7566 height date is selected. That height date is copied to at the rate I. That height date is copied to this variable. I want 7566 what's that? Experience. I want 7566 experience. I want 7566 experience. Then once you know height date, you can calculate what? Experience. So calculate the experience, assign the experience into this variable. Calculate the experience, assign the experience into this variable. How to write the statement? Assign to EXPR. Then, sir, if you want to assign to variable, then you have to write set what? EXPR equals to what? Assign the experience. Assign the experience. Then how to calculate experience? Experience is difference between two dates. Experience is difference between two dates. Then what? Date diff. Date diff. Then YY comma height date. Okay, now start date and end date. Start date is height date. So where is the height date? Where is the height date? Where is the height date? Height date is copied to the variable. Okay, now then at the rate what? Height. Height date is already copied to this variable. Use this variable. Next one, comma, get date. Where is the get date? Get date. Okay, then. So what this calculates? This calculates what? Experience. Experience is calculated in what? Years. So this is start date. This is what? End date. Start date is height date. Height date is already copied to this variable. Okay, now it calculates experience. Experience is copied to this variable. Now print experience. How to print experience? Print what, sir? EXPR. Print EXPR. Okay, then. So let me execute this program. Okay, now. So what this is? First you input the number. You input employee number. So input the number, store the number into this variable. To store some value into a variable, you write set statement. Set at the rate ENO equal to 7566. 7566 is assigned to this variable. Now, what is your aim? You want to calculate experience. But to calculate experience, I need employee height date. Where is the height date? Height date is there in EMP table. So get the 7566 height date and copy that height date into the variable. So getting the height date from the table, the height date is copied to this variable. Okay, na? Now you know the hide date. Hide date is copied to this variable. Once you know hide date, now you can calculate what experience. So calculate the experience, store the experience into this variable. Okay, na? Calculate the experience and store the experience into this variable. So how to calculate the experience? Experience is difference between two dates, hide date and get date. So to calculate the difference between two dates in SQL, there is a function date diff. So you want experience in what years? YY. What is the start date? Hide date. Where is the hide date? Where is the hide date? Hide date is already copied to this variable. Yes or no? Hide date is copied to this variable. Use that variable here. Next one. What is the next one? End date. What is the end date? Get date. So that means experience is calculated till today. Experience is calculated till today. Next one. Print what? Experience. So let me run this command. Then what the experience is? 7566 experience is what? 42. 42. Now, but I want to print 42 years. After 42, I want to print what's years, because if you print like this, they don't understand. 42 is years or months or days or. Then I want to print years. Then what? After EXPR, after printing experience, I want to print years. Then what? Plus what? Years, plus years. So concatenate. This experience is concatenated with what? Years. But let me run this. This gives what? Error. Why? Because when you are concatenating, all must be what type? Character type. So what is years is character type. What is EXPR is? EXPR is what type? Integer type. So integer cannot be concatenated with string character. So you have to convert this EXPR to what type? You have to convert this EXPR to what type? Character type. How to convert this EXPR to character type? Varchar. Okay, cast. So use cast function. Cast EXPR. Then what? As varchar. As varchar. So let me run this. Then 42 years. That's okay. Then so then execute this query, execute this program. Then Okay, then this is just two examples how to write programs, how to write select query, how to write a select query. There is a small difference. That is what get the data from table, copy the data into variables. In SQL, we directly given the values, but here we are using the variables. Okay, then we are using the variables. Next. Okay, then. So this is just how to write programs, how to write select query. Next, in this, I want to execute the statements based on the conditions. I want to execute the statements for conditions. If condition true, I want to execute some statements. If condition false, I want to execute different statements. So if you want to execute the statements based on the conditions, then you have to use what? Conditional statements. Okay, you have to use conditional statements. Conditional statements. Then first one, so it supports three. This TSQL program supports three conditional. One is what? If else. Next, what? Multi if. Next, nested if. If else, multi if, nested if. So it supports three. If else, multi if, nested if. Okay, then. So first one, if else. What is the syntax is if condition. Okay, if condition, then begin statements and next one else begin statements else and that's it. This is how to use if else. Okay, how to use if else. Oh. How it works? How it works? So first, what it check this what condition? It check the condition. If this condition true, then these statements are executed. If this condition true, these statements are executed. If the condition false, else statements are executed. If condition true, if statements are executed. If condition false, what? Else statements are executed. Okay, then. So begin and end is required if statements are more than one. But if single statement, begin and end is not required. Multiple statements, begin and end is required. The statements are multiple, then begin and end is required. If statement is single statement you want to execute, begin and end is not required. Else is not compulsory, else is optional. Okay, now if else is there, else. If else is not there also, no problem. Else is not compulsory. So if condition true, these statements are executed. If condition false, else statements are executed. Next one, what? multi-if. Okay, multi-if. Then, so when this will be useful, like when you want to check single condition, this is okay. But sometimes you want to check multiple conditions, not one condition. You want to check what? Multiple. When you want to check multiple condition, then use what? Multi-if. Okay. Then how to use this? If condition one. If condition one, so begin statements, next what? End. Else if condition two, begin statements, next one, end. Next one. Else if condition three, like that. So you can write what's it? Multiple conditions. Begin, next one, statements, next one, end. Else what? Begin, statements, end. For single condition, use the first one. But when you want to check multiple conditions, use second one. Okay, then. No. So if this condition true, these statements are executed. If first condition false, then checks second condition. Second condition true, these statements are executed. Second condition also false, checks third one. Third one is true, execute this state. Third one is also false, then else, execute the else statements. If any condition true, corresponding statements are executed. If condition one is true, these statements are executed. If condition one false, second condition true, these statements are executed. Second condition also false, checks third condition. Third condition is true, execute this statement. If all the conditions are false, execute what? Else statements. Okay, this is what multi-if. Next one, nested if. Nested if. Nested if. What is a nested if? Is writing if statement in what? Another if statement. So if condition, then what? If condition, begin, again if what? Condition, then what? Begin, then what? Statements. Next one, what? End. Next one, end. Next one, else begin, what? Statements, then next one, end. That's it. So once again, here also you can write what's that? Here also you can write what? Else. Else, begin, so statements, next one, end. Okay. And Okay, na? So here once again, see what is this is what outer if. What is this is? This is what outer if. What is this is? This is what's the inner if. Okay, na? This is outer if, and this is what inner if. First it checks what? First it checks outer if. Outer if is true. Outer if is true. Then checks inner if. First it checks outer if. Outer if is true. Checks what? Inner if. Inner if is also true. Then execute these statements. These statements are executed. Inner if is false. Then executes these else statements. First it checks outer if. Outer if is true. Checks inner if. Inner if is also true. Execute these statements. Inner if is false. Execute these statements. Suppose outer if is false. Outer if is false. Then go to, then execute this else statements. Okay, then. So one is outer if, another one inner if. First it checks outer if. If outer if is true, then checks inner if. Inner if is also true, execute this. Inner if is false, execute this else. Outer if is false, execute this else. That's all. So this is writing if condition. You're writing if condition in another if condition. So if you write if condition in another if condition, that is called nested if. Okay. Next one. So there are three. Okay. One is if else, another one multi if, another one nested if. Then let's see, for example, write a program. Okay. Write a program to input employee number. Write a program. You're all learning programming. Okay, now how to use if conditions, how to write statements. Write a program to input employee number and increment salary by specific amount. Write a program to input employee number and increment salary by specific amount. And after increment, if salary exceeds 5,000, then cancel that increment. Write a program to input number and increment salary. After incrementing salary, if it exceeds 5,000, then cancel that increment. Okay, na? So input the number, increment salary. After increment, if it exceeds 5,000, then cancel that increment. What? So like declare what's that? Declare at the rate what? Employee number integer. Next. So what is the variable? You have to input number. You have to increment salary. Then by specific amount, input the amount also. How much salary should be incremented? Input the amount. Next, I want to check the salary. Take a variable for salary. I need three. One for employee number, one for amount, one for salary. I have to input the number. Take one variable for employee number. I have to input the amount. Salary should be incremented by how much amount. We have to input that amount. One variable for amount. I want to check the salary exceeding 5,000 or not. To check the salary, I need a variable for salary. So total, how many variables required? Three variables. Next one, what? Next, input the number. Input the number. How to write it? Input the number. Set at the rate ENO equal to something 7566. Some number. Input the amount. Input the amount also. I want to increment 7566 salary. Input the amount. How to write it? Set amount equal to, suppose 2500. What is the meaning? 7566. You are writing this program to increment salary. Yes or no? Means 7566 salary should be incremented by 2500. 7566 salary should be incremented by 2500. Then tell me how to increment salary. How to increment the salary? How to increment the salary? How to increment the salary? Set what? Sal equal to sal plus amount. What is this? What is at the rate sal? Variable. You are incrementing variable value. Salary. I'm asking to increment the salary. This is variable. You are incrementing the variable value. You are not incrementing the salary, employee salary. I'm asking to increment the employee salary. Then this is all database programming, boss. Okay, na? Then you have to increment employee salary. Where is the employee salary? EMP table. Increment the salary in table. Then salary, employee salary is incremented. So if you simply increment variable value, then no use. Okay, na? Then I want to increment employee salary in table. Update commands. What is the command? Update command. So to increment salary, that means you want to change the value in the table. To change the value in the table, what command? Update command. Listen. Now, see this here. Actually, this is the table. Select star from what? EMP. This is the actual table. You see 7566. 7566. What is the salary? 3421. 3421. So you are incrementing salary. You want to increment salary by this much amount. How to increment? Update. What? EMP. Set salary equal to salary plus what? Salary plus amount, where employee number equals to @NO. Update EMP set sal equal to sal plus amount, where employee number equals to @NO. Okay, na? Then so what is the @NO? 7566. So 7566 salary is what? Incremented by this much amount, 2500. Okay, na? Then next, incremented salary is incremented. After increment, what after increment, if salary what's it exceeds 5000, then cancel that increment. Okay, after incrementing the salary, I want to check the salary. After incrementing, I want to check whether it is exceeding 5000 or not. I want to check. How to check? If condition. But now, so the salary is updated. But where it is updated? EMP table. Where is the new salary? Where is the new salary? Where is the new salary? New salary is there in EMP table. Okay, na? I want that new salary in this program. Then, sir, it is updated, boss. You updated in the table. So it is there in the table. New salary is there in the table. I want that new salary in this program. Then what? Select. If you want to, value is there in the table. If you want to get that value to the program, then select. What? Select. Select. Get the salary. Copy that salary into this variable. You already taken a variable, na? So copy that value into this variable. @ what? Sal equal to sal from EMP, where employee number equals to @NO. Okay, na? @NO. Now, what is this query is selecting? This query is selecting what's it? Salary. Salary after update or before update? After update. That means this query will select new salary now, old salary now. New salary. Now check the new salary is exceeding 5,000 or not. Then tell me how to check. I want to check whether salary is exceeding 5,000 or not. Then if you have to write if condition. Where at the rate sal, at the rate sal greater than what? 5,000. So salary exceeding 5,000. If salary exceeds 5,000, then cancel that increment. So I want to cancel this update. How to cancel this update? What's that? Rollback. To cancel this update, rollback. If not exceeding 5,000, I want to save it. Then commit. If exceeding 5,000, cancel that update. To cancel the update, what command you have to execute? Rollback. If not exceeding 5,000, I want to save this update. Then what? Commit. Sir, understood? Okay, na? Then. So once again. So updating the employee's salary, because this program is for incrementing the salary. I want to increment the salary in table. To increment salary in table, updating. After updating the salary, I want to check whether salary is exceeding 5,000 or not. If you want to check the new salary, first get the new salary because it is there in the table. Get the value from table to this program. So how to get the value from table? Select. So selecting the salary, copying the salary to this variable. If exceeds 5,000, then cancel. Otherwise, commit. But what the problem is? The problem is here, by default, SQL Server runs in auto commit mode. By default, it runs in what? Auto commit mode. That means here updated, but this update is committed. Updated. After updating, immediately it is committed. So once it is committed, you cannot roll back it. Even if you execute rollback, no use. You're executing rollback, but no use. Why? Because it's already committed. Already this update is committed. So even if you execute rollback, no use. Understood? Then I want to stop this auto commit. Then I want to stop auto commit. To stop auto commit, we use one command. What is that command? Set what's it? Implicit transactions on. Okay, na? If you say set implicit transaction on, auto commit is what's it? Off. Auto commit is off for the entire session. Auto commit is off for what? Entire session. Session means login, logout. The time between what? Login and logout, that is called session. You logged in, you executed this command. So auto commit is off. Auto commit is off till you log out. Till you log out, auto commit is what? Off. So this is for the entire session. But I don't want for the entire session. I want only for this program. Only for this program, I want to stop auto commit. Only for this program. Understood? Not for the entire session, boss. Only for this program, I want to stop auto commit. Then what you have to say? You have to say one, what that is called? Begin transaction. What do you have to say? Begin transaction. If you say begin transaction means, then once this begin transaction command is executed, then what? Auto commit is what, sir? Off. Auto commit is off for the entire session, only for this program. Only for this program. So a transaction is started. You started one transaction explicitly. A new transaction starts. Auto commit is what? Off. Then updated. After updating, so if it exceeds 5,000, then update is what, sir? Cancel. So what is the difference between begin transaction and set implicit transactions on? Set implicit transaction on is for entire session and begin transaction only for this program. Okay, then. So listen, just see this. Now, so you entered some employee number 7566 and you entered what? Amount 2,500. Now transaction is started. Next one, salary is what, sir? Updated 7566. What is the existing salary? What the sal means? Sal means existing salary. What is the existing salary? 3421. What is the existing salary? 3421 plus amount. What is the amount? 2500. So 3421 plus 2500. What is that is? 5900. 5900. So the salary is updated with 5900. Updated. But this update is committed or not committed? Not committed. Just updated. Next, this query is selecting the new salary. What is the new salary? 5900. So is 5900 is greater than 5000? Yes or no? Condition true. When condition true, what happens? Rollback is executed. When rollback is executed, this update is what? Cancel. Okay, then now let me execute this program. Let me execute the program. I'm executing the program. One row affected. Just go and see the 75. Just go and see the 7566 salary. 7566 salary. Still it is 3421. Updated, incremented, but that increment is what? Cancel. Now we do one thing. Increment salary by 1000. I'm incrementing salary by 1000. Now this time, so what is the salary? Existing salary? 3421. What is the amount you entered? 1000. So 3421 plus 1000. Then 4421. So next, after updating, this query is selecting the new salary. What is the new salary? 4421. Is 4421 is greater than 5000? Condition false. When condition false, what is executed? Commit is executed. That means commit is executed. Then updated or not? Yes. Now let's run this program. I executed the program. Just go and see the table. See the table. So 7566. What is the salary? 4421. Understood? That. Sir. Okay, na? Then see, tell me, is this possible in SQL? Is this possible in SQL? No. So in this example, based on the condition, we are executing commit and what's her rollback. This is not possible in SQL. In SQL, what we can do, either we can commit or we can roll back. But condition true, rollback, condition false, commit is not possible. Okay, then. Okay, then. That's all. This is what how to use if condition. Okay, then. Okay. So in this example, you are using simple if else, yes or no. Next, let's see one example for multi if. Okay, then. So here, how many conditions you want to check? How many conditions you want to check? One condition. Salary is greater than 5,000 or not. I want to check only one condition. So we use if else. Next, sometimes you want to check multiple condition. Then you have to use what? Multi if. Then suppose here, for example, now write a program to input what number, input employee number, and increment what salary as follows. Input the number and increment salary as follows. If job equals to what? Clerk. If job equals to clerk, increment salary by 10%. If job is what? Manager, or job is salesman, increment salary by 15%. If job is manager, increment by 20%. And for others, increment salary by 5%. Okay. Now, so here I have to check three conditions, multiple. Okay, then. So tell me first, what are variables? What variables are required? Here you have to input what? Number at the rate what? NO integer. Next, because we are going to increment all the employees are one employer. If I want to increment all, I don't ask input employee number. Yes or no? You want to increment all, boss. When you want to increment all, why I ask input employee number? When we ask input employee number, when you want to increment one particular employee's salary, then I'll ask input employee number. If I want to increment all, then why I ask input employee number? No need to input the employee number. Yes or no? Then what? So here in this example, I'm going to increment one particular one particular employee's salary. We are not going to increment all the employees' salaries. We are going to increment one employee. But one employee, that employee's salary should be incremented by 10% or 15 or 20 or 5%. Depends on that employee job. If employee is clerk, then his salary should be incremented by 10%. If employee is manager, so 20%. If employee is salesman, 15%. Understood? We are going to increment one, but increment by how much depends on job. Then take a variable for what? Job also, because incrementing is based on job. So we need job of the employee, varchar of 10. Next, salary. Okay, now? Okay. Like, see this. Next, I taken two variables, one for employee number, one for job. First, input the employee number. Which employee's salary you want to increment? Input that employee number, store that employee number into this variable. Then tell me how. Set what? At the rate ENO equal to input the number. Suppose I entered some employee number So some employee number, that employee number is assigned to this variable. Next, what? So after input this employee number, I want this particular employee salary. I want to increment. I want to increment this employee salary. Okay, now to increment this employee salary, but incrementing the salary is based on what? Job. Then what we need? We need this employee job. I need this employee job because salary, incrementing salary is based on what? Job. I want job of this employee. Where is the job? Employee table. So get the job from employee table to this program. How? Select. Select what? What? Job. Job equal to job. Left side is variable name, boss. Right side is column name. Left side is what? Variable name. Right side is column name. From emp, where employee number equal to @envo. What is this query? This query is select 7844 job. That job is copied to this variable. Okay, now this query will select 7844 job. That job is copied to this variable. Now check the job. Now what's that? Check what? Job. How to check the job? I want to check the job. Then whenever you want to check, right? If conditions. If what? Job. If job equals to clerk. If employee job equals to clerk, then salary should be what, boss? If job is clerk, salary should be incremented by 10%. Increment salary by 10%. Yes or no? The salary should be incremented by 10%. How to increment salary by 10%? How to increment salary by 10%? How to increment salary by 10%? Update. The salary should be incremented by 10%. What's that? Update. So write update. We'll update. We'll write it. I'll write it. Okay, na? Then. So this is first condition completed. Second condition. I want to check for what? Salesman. If this employee job is salesman. If he's clerk, then this update. If job is salesman, then what? How to write second condition? Else if what? Job. Job equal to salesman. If job equal to salesman, then what? Update. Next one. Else if job equals to manager, then update. Next one. Else what's it? Update. Okay, na? So how many updates you have to write? How many updates you write? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to write 4 updates. What is the difference between one update to another update? What is the difference between one update to another update? Job, not job. Increment percentage. Sorry, I'm asking this one, you are telling this one. One update to another update, what the difference is? Salary percentage. So this first update should increment by 10%. Second update 15, next 20, next 5. So, but here, see, everything is same. So all these 4 updates are updating same table or different table? Same table. Updating same column or different column? Same column, salary column. But only the difference between one update to another update is percentage is different. One update to another update, what the difference is? Percentage. Okay. Then instead of writing this update command 4 times, instead of writing this update command 4 times, can we simplify this? Instead of writing, because it is updating what? Same. Okay, na? Same table, same columns, everything is same, only percentage is different. So instead of writing this update command 4 times, can we simplify this? Yes. How? Take a variable for percentage. Percentage what type? Integer type. So take a variable for percentage. Then set what set? @PCT equals to 10. @PCT equals to what set? 10. 10%. Okay, na? The salary should be incremented by how much? 10%. So next one. If job is salesman, then assign how much percentage to this 15. If job is manager, then set what at the rate PCT equals to 20. If it is, then set PCT equals to 5. If clerk, then 10%, salesman 15, manager 20, otherwise 5. Then next. Okay, now you know which employee's salary you want to increment. I want to increment this employee's salary. And you know how much it should be incremented. You know which employee's salary you want to increment, and you know increment by how much percentage. That is there in the variable what's that? PCT. Now increment the salary. How? Now increment. Now increment the salary. How to increment? Update. Update. What? EMP set salary equal to salary plus, because you are saying increment na salary plus. Set sal equal to sal plus. This, what is the salary refers to? This salary is refers to. What is the salary refers to? Update salary is what, boss? Sir, in your programming languages, you use a variable x. X is incremented by, increment x value by 1. X equal to x plus 1. If you write like this, what is this x refers to? Existing x, existing value. Existing value of this x is incremented by 1. If x value is already 10, 10 plus 1. This refers to what? Existing value. Existing value of this x is incremented by 1. Now what is this? Set sal equal to sal plus. What is this sal is? Existing salary. Existing salary should be incremented by how much? This percentage. This percentage. How to write this percentage? Sir, salary should be incremented by this much percentage at the rate PCT. If at the rate PC is 10, 10. At the rate PCT is 15, 15. At the rate PC is 20, 20. Then how to write? Sal into at the rate PCT by 100. At the rate PCT is 10, then 10%. At the rate PCT is 20, 20%. At the rate PC is 15, 15%. But which employee? Increment the salary, no? But if you run command like this, what happens? All are updated. Update command without where condition updates all the rows. All employees are updated. I don't want to update all. I want to update only this employee. Then where EMP NO equals to at the rate NO. What is the at the rate NO? 7844. 7844 salary is incremented by how much? How much? At the rate PCT. At the rate PCT is 10, 10, 15, 15, 20, 20, 5, 5. Okay. Now let's suppose check this. For example, now you see this 7844 is there. What is the job? 7844 job is what? Salesman. So then, so this query will select what? This query will select what's it? This query will select 7844 what's it? Job. This query will select 7844 job. So the job is copied to this variable at the rate job. Okay, na? This query will select 7844 job, that is copied to this variable. Okay, then is at the rate job equal to salesman? Okay, na? False. Condition false. Then what is this condition? True. Then what is assigned to PCT? 15. So the condition true. Here, what is the value assigned to PCT? 15. So after executing this statement, then it comes to what's it? Update. After executing the statement, it comes to update. Update what? EMP set salary equal to salary plus salary into PCT by 100. So what is the 7844 salary? 1800. 1800 is incremented by how much? 15%. What is the 15% on 1800? 360. Sorry, 180 plus 90. Okay, 270. So then 1800 plus what? 270. 2070. Yes or no? Then so this salary is incremented by how much? 270. So 1800 plus 270, 2070. Then that's all. Now let's run this program. Then see, run this here. One row affected. Just go and see the table. 7844 2070. Understood? Then so incremented by how much? 15%. So okay now? Then hmm. Okay. So in this example, like we are checking multiple conditions. So using multi-if. How you write first condition? By using if. How you write remaining conditions? By using else if. Okay. No. So you try this one. What then? Student number, name. Next one, S1, S2, S3. Number is 1, name is A. Then what? 80, 90, 70. Student 2, B. What is 30, 60, 50, something. Okay, then student table, student number, name S1, S2, S3. So this is the table. Now what, write a program to print, write a program to print student number, total, average, results. Number, total, average, result. What the result should be? Result should be what? Okay, na? Distinction, first, second, third, fail. What the result should be? Result should be what? What? Distinction or what? First, second, then third, fail. I want the result to be like this. I want to print result like this. Okay, then can I? Average greater than what? 70. Then distinction. Greater than equal to 60, less than 70. Then first. Greater than or equal to 50, less than or less than 60. Then second. Okay, like that. Okay, na? So here also you have to write multiple conditions. Okay, na? Then next. So this is the first example is if else. Second example is what? Multi if. Next. Let's see one example for nested if. Okay, then. So for example, there is a table, bank table, accounts table, account number, account type, balance. 100 account type is savings, 10,000. 101 current, like 20,000 something. Okay, then so what? For example, write a program to process bank transaction. What is this is withdraw deposit. So write a program to process bank transaction, withdraw deposit. Okay, then. So what is the input for withdraw deposits? What is the input? What we have to input the data? What data we have to input? To do withdraw, to do deposit, what we have to input? You have to input what? Account number. You have to input the account number plus you have to input type, withdraw na deposit. Type, one variable for type. Withdraw deposit, care of one. Next one, what? How much amount you want to withdraw? Okay, na? How much amount you want to withdraw or how much amount you want to deposit? Plus, what is your balance? And what is your account number? What is the type? What is the amount? What is the balance? Your account number, type, amount, balance. Okay, then. Now, next. So then this is what variables, required variables. Next, first complete the input. First complete the input. Then what? Set. Set what? Account number. Just see this. First listen. Account number is 100. Next, he wants to, what he wants to do? He wants to input the type. What he wants to do? Withdraw. You want to withdraw. Okay, na? Then this customer wants to withdraw. Next, input amount. How much amount he want to withdraw? 1000. So like this customer wants to withdraw 1000. Okay, then. So sometimes he wants to withdraw, sometimes he wants to deposit. Now in this case, withdraw. Then, so if customer wants to withdraw, then what? If customer wants to withdraw, then can he withdraw as much amount as he want? No. So to like withdraw, then first check the balance is sufficient or not. If balance is sufficient, allow the customer. Otherwise, no. So we have to check the balance. Okay. Then suppose here, if type equals to withdraw, if type equals to withdraw, customer wants to withdraw. If customer wants to withdraw, then what? We have to check the balance. Check the balance. But where is the balance? Where is the balance? Table. So get the balance from table to this program. How to get the balance? Select. Select what? Select at the rate bal. From what table? Accounts table. Which customer balance? Where account number equals to at the rate account number. So this particular customer balance is selected. Balance is copied to this variable because I need the balance. Why? Because he is doing what? Withdraw. Customer is withdrawing. I want to check the balance is sufficient or not. That's why I'm getting the balance from table. Now check the balance is sufficient or not. How do you know balance is sufficient or not? How do you know balance is sufficient or not? Compare this balance with what's it? Withdraw amount. Then what? If what? Amount greater than, if amount is greater than balance. Withdraw amount is greater than balance. If withdraw amount is greater than balance, withdraw is allowed or not allowed? Withdraw is allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. Amount is greater than balance. If withdraw amount is greater than balance, withdraw is allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. Then print a message. What is the message? Insufficient funds, insufficient balance, like that. Else means amount is less than balance. Amount is less than balance. Withdraw is allowed or not? Yes, customer can do withdraw. When customer do the withdraw, then what you do? Sorry, here is balance is 10,000. Is withdrawing 5,000. After withdrawing the 5,000, then his balance should be updated with what? 5,000. His balance should be updated with 5,000. Then what? Update accounts. Okay, na? Set balance equal to balance minus what? Amount. Minus amount should be deducted from balance because withdraw. No? Which customer? Which customer? Where account number equal to at the rate account number. So this particular customer balance is updated. Amount is deducted from balance because he is withdrawing. Understood? If type is withdraw, so we need to check the balance, getting the balance. Checking the balance is sufficient or not. Balance is not sufficient. Print a message. If balance is sufficient, then so withdraw. That's all. This is all. This is executed. All this is executed. If type is what? Withdraw. If type is withdraw, this code is executed. If type is deposit, then I want to write one more condition for deposit. How to write the second condition? Else if type equal to D. Type equal to D. Then type is D. That means customer wants to do deposit. When customer is doing the deposit, then tell me, do we need to check the balance? No need to check the balance. Directly can do the deposit. Then what? Update. Update what? Accounts table. Set balance equal to balance plus amount where account number equal to at the rate account number. So balance is updated. Okay, na? Balance is updated. Next one, if type equals to withdraw, this code is executed. If type is deposit, this code is executed. Then what else? Suppose like you entered W, this is okay. You entered D, okay. But by mistake you entered K. By mistake you entered K. Then K is what? Invalid. Then when you enter K, then it goes to else part. Yes or no? Because this condition is false. This condition also false. Then it goes to else part. Then print a message. What the message? What? Invalid. What's that? Transaction. Invalid transaction. Okay, na? Then what is the next? End. So okay, na? Then that's what this is. This is an example for nested if. This is an example for what's it? Nested if. Because you are writing this if condition in another if condition. Writing if condition in another if condition. So this is what nested if.